Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Thursday night Discover Asea webinar. My name is Alan Noble, and just a little bit about myself. I'm originally from Ireland. I now live in Dallas, Texas, with my beautiful wife, Tanya, and my two little leprechaunettes, and of course, my little dog, Evie. But look, as far as this call is concerned, I think what's important is that I've been associated with this incredible technology and this company for over 10 years now. May 2009, I stumbled across Asea, like perhaps you're stumbling across it today, and it changed everything for me. It totally changed everything. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with the incredible technology that's in this beautiful blue bottle. Now, this is considered one of the most significant health, athletic, and anti-aging breakthroughs of our time. For many people, this is the missing link. This is a new category of science that for 10 to 15 years, science said was impossible. And I think one of the most really cool things about this technology is that for 2 decades, science said it could not be done. It was impossible, that what's inside that beautiful blue bottle could not exist outside the human body. But with Asea, the impossible became possible. Now, anytime you've huge breakthroughs, there's going to be opportunity for the right person. The bigger the breakthrough, the bigger the opportunity. So we're going to start this presentation really unwrapping this huge breakthrough so you understand why it is so significant. And then we're going to talk about the opportunity that it's created. Now, in the middle, we're going to have 3 very special guests that are going to share their lives changed. We've got Cecily from Virginia, we've got Patty from Delaware, and we have Leonie from the land down under in New South Wales in Australia. So we're really excited for them to be sharing their stories with you. So let's get into it. Let's start with what Asea is not. Asea is not a vitamin, a mineral. It's not an antioxidant. It's not an exotic juice. And let me add, it is not a CBD oil. It's none of those things. It goes beyond nutrition. It goes beyond ingredients, and yet it can impact your health at a depth that no other supplement has ever come close to achieving. As I said earlier, Asea Redox is often called the missing link when it comes to people's health. Now, in order to understand this breakthrough, you've got to think of your body a little differently. I want you to think of your body as the most complex communication network that exists. Every second of every day, your cells are passing tremendous amounts of information within the cells, from cells to cells, and throughout the body to the systems, like to the immune system. All of this communication is going on all of the time. Any breakdown in this cellular communication, and you cannot achieve your full health and healing potential. Now, let me give you a simple example so this becomes clear. Imagine your home is on fire, and you call the fire department, and they're there with their big red truck and the fire hose and the firefighters and everything they need to put out the fire. But what if you've got a bad cell signal? What if you've only 1 bar? What if the call keeps dropping and the fire department don't get the message? Well, what happens is your house goes up in smoke. And so with Asea, this is the only technology in the world that provides the resources necessary to improve this critical cell signaling. And what it provides are very, very special molecules that we call redox signaling molecules. Now, everything happens at the cellular level. We live and die at the cellular level. Heart cells, brain cells, liver cells, lung cells, everything happens at the cellular level. And so as science looks deeper into the body and into the cells, and your 75 trillion cells, they have discovered these molecules, these redox signaling molecules. And as they explore them, as they study them, they realize that these molecules are absolutely foundational to cellular health. Now, I want you to imagine your cells are little bags of salt water, okay? And in the cells, your mitochondria is producing energy. And as that's going on, the mitochondria is also spinning out these molecules. So these molecules are native to your body. Let me just clarify that. A blueberry is all natural, but your body doesn't grow blueberries, okay? These molecules are beyond all natural. They're actually native to your body. You're making them right now. If you weren't making them, you wouldn't be watching this presentation. You'd be lying flat on the floor and you wouldn't be breathing, okay? So these molecules are native to your body. You're making them. So if you're making them, why are we talking about them? Well, we've got some challenges with age, with stress, with environmental toxins. We start to make less of these critical molecules. And so things just don't work as well as they used to. The fire department aren't getting the message. And the whole cellular healing process becomes sluggish. You begin to see and feel the effects of aging. So common sense should now kick in and you go, okay, well, let's take a supplement. We take vitamin supplements, mineral supplements, antioxidant supplements. Let's take a redox signaling supplement. Well, it wasn't that simple. Remember I said for 2 decades, science said this technology was impossible. You see, these molecules are very reactive in the body. They're fleeting. I like to call them fleeting angels. They do their good work and then they're gone. Okay, so think of these molecules like little sparks. Well, how do you make a spark, trap it in a glass and bring it to the party at the weekend to light the barbecue? You can't do it. It's a spark. It's fleeting. It's gone. So science had basically said for the last 20 years, you can't stabilize these molecules outside the body. You can't make a supplement with something that is so reactive and so fleeting. Well, guys, I am so excited to say, and I've been saying it for 10 years, that the impossible became possible with Asea. And we created the world's first and only, still today, the only redox signaling supplement in the world. Now, I don't want to get lost in the science here. This is not a biochemistry class, but I do need to make something very, very clear, because when you look at a bottle of Asea and you turn it around and you look at the ingredients, and that's kind of what we're trained to do, you're going to see the ingredients are salt and water. Well, let me explain this. Remember, your cells are little bags of salt water, and your body right now is making these molecules out of that salt water. So we start with the same basic building block, salt and water, but we pass it through a very complex 3-day, 3-step process, breaking down the salt water and restructuring it into trillions of these redox signaling molecules. So guys, here's the first really important point to understand. Asea is not a bottle of salt water. Asea is a bottle of trillions and trillions of these redox signaling molecules that we have made from salt and water. Now, this technology is so complex that it took us another 5 years to go from the drink, the water, to the gel. And we're going to talk about both of these. Anytime you're bringing something incredible to the marketplace, number one, you want to make sure you've patented the technology so you don't have a lot of copycats and competition. And that's exactly what we've done. You also want to make sure that it is certified and verified by third-party sources. Look, I don't want you to take my word for it. If we're achieving something that science said couldn't be done, a new category of science that's 10 to 15 years ahead of its time, I would expect to be able to back that up with some independent scientific literature. So we went to one of the top independent laboratories in the world, Bioagiletics, and they test every single batch of our product to certify and verify that these products do indeed contain these very powerful redox signaling molecules. So let's talk about this signaling a little bit more. We did a study with Torrent Labs. They actually do a lot of the genetic work for Ancestry.com. I'm sure you've heard of them. So Torrent Labs is kind of behind the scenes doing a lot of the testing. So Torrent Labs did an 8-week double-blind study on Asea Redox, and what we found was astonishing. This technology in only 8 weeks could increase 5 very important gene signaling pathways by up to 31%. So this isn't just cell signaling, guys. This is signaling at the profound depths of the genetic level. And these 5 pathways directly impact the immune system, the inflammatory response, cardiovascular health, healthy digestion, and even hormone balance. Okay? Now think about it for a minute. Think about yourself, your partner, your mother, father, aunt, uncle, brother, sister, kids. Think about these 5 areas of health. They're massive. There's lots and lots of people that you know, and again, maybe yourself, that could check a box in each one of these, okay? Or at least 1 or 2 of these. So these are huge, huge areas of health for us. Now, again, not to get lost in the biochemistry, but I want you to understand how huge this is, and that I'm really just giving you the tip of the iceberg. One of these gene signaling pathways, they're given funky names like EGR1, but this one pathway opens up another 15 gene signaling pathways. Do all sorts of things: ovarian infertility genes, human thyroid stimulation, spinal cord insulin signaling, okay? But one of them is an NRF2 pathway. This directly fires up your antioxidants. And so we've done previous studies showing that we can increase the most powerful antioxidants known to man. It's called glutathione. It's made in your own body. 800% increase in glutathione. We've done studies to show a lowering of oxidized LDL, a lowering of oxidized DNA. And so here's the point I'm making. Asea's impact on your antioxidant health is absolutely staggering, even though there's no antioxidants in Asea, just these very powerful signaling molecules. So what are experts saying? Anne-Louise Gittleman, sometimes known as the First Lady of Nutrition, written many best-selling books. She says, Asea, in my humble estimation, is the greatest advance in lifestyle medicine, which harnesses the power of your own body to keep it well. See, that's the key. We don't make any health claims for our product or these molecules. They're simply a powerful resource for your body to use, okay? Dr. Gary Samuelson, the atomic medical physicist, he was part of the science team that achieved the impossible. So he knows this technology very, very well. He says it has the potential to spearhead the greatest advances in health that we have ever seen. So another thing we noticed was athletes were running further, faster, longer, harder, experiencing improvements in endurance and recovery. And so we wanted to know why. And we got mice, we put mice on a little treadmill, and we gave one set of mice Asea, and we didn't give any Asea to the other mice. And what we noticed was the mice on Asea ran 29% further to exhaustion. Now, mice don't run 29% further for nothing. Something's going on, so we wanted to know what. And this was a 7-day study, by the way. It happened very, very quickly. What we find is the mice on Asea were tapping into their fat reserves rather than burning just sugar for fuel. Now, this is really important, okay? If you're an endurance athlete or you're a serious athlete and you want to improve your endurance and recovery, you want to train your body to tap into your fat reserves. It's a better source of fuel. It's like putting high-grade fuel in your car. It burns better, okay? Well, if you're interested in maybe getting into a lower pant size, or maybe your dress fitting a little better, drink Asea before you go to the gym. Helps shift your metabolism into fat burning mode. And so whether it's for appearances or whether it's for performance, Asea has become very, very important to many athletes, including world-class athletes, from Olympic gold medal swimmers to triathletes, Ironmen, etc. Now, let me cover quickly the gel. I like to call it the miracle gel. Renew 28, our topical version of these redox signaling molecules, is absolutely astonishing. The first thing, how would you like to slow down the aging process? Think about this, 10 years from now, do you want to look 10 years older? Or do you want to look maybe just 3 or 4 years older? Okay, I think we'd all like to slow down the aging. Well, remember, these molecules are key to that process. Let me explain why we call it Renew 28. Your skin renews itself every 28 days. Every 28 days, you're supposed to have a brand new suit of clothing, okay? And so as you age, you've less of these molecules, and so your cellular renewal rates get slow and sluggish. And so that 28-day cycle turns to 40 days, 50 days, 60 days, 70 days, and you begin to see the wrinkling, the crinkling, the sagging, and the bagging. And here's a great example of this, okay? You can see a dramatic improvement in only 4 weeks using this product. Improvements in smoothness, wrinkles, and elasticity. But here's the most exciting one. That's 16% improvement in cell renewal. You see, what we find is we could bring our cellular renewal rates back 16% closer to where they were when we were younger. Now, guys, that's not really anti-aging. That's age reversal at the cellular level. That's helping your cells work like they did when you were younger. And this is a big clue, guys. This is why you begin to look like you did when you were younger. As an athlete, you begin to perform like you did when you were younger. Maybe from your physical health, you begin to feel like you did when you were younger, okay? So aging slower. Skin challenges, from blemishes on the skin to redness and irritation that so many young people have challenges with today. First aid, cuts, scrapes, bumps, bruises, stings, bites, all sorts of things. Here's a little bruise. You can see 75 minutes. It's absolutely incredible. When my kids fall off the bike, they're smart enough. They're only 8 and 10, almost 11. And they're smart enough to go grab a tube of Renew 28. Other one that's very interesting is discomfort relief. We noticed that people with aches and pains and sore wrists, sore shoulders, knees, whatever it is, if you rub the gel on 3 times in 5 minutes, we see about a 90% success rate in people getting tremendous relief from discomfort. And then just general health. This is a gentleman, and you can see day 0, he's not looking great. And he started using the gel. He'd actually been out of work for over a year. He had a pretty serious health challenge going on. And just using the gel, 22 days, and you can see he's got a sparkle back in his eye again. And he started drinking the drink. And within a couple of weeks, he's back to work again for the first time in over a year. Not only getting his health back, but now getting his financial dignity back. That is the power of our technology. And here's another one I love. This is Rosie. I actually keep meaning to take the ages out of here so you can kind of guess which is the older Rosie and which is the younger Rosie. But again, you can see the dramatic transformation here using both the drink, the inside out, and the gel, the outside in. So look, we don't have time in this presentation to get into our other products in any great detail, but based on the success of Renew 28, we did develop a complete skincare system, including a highly concentrated version of Renew. It's our serum, as well as a moisturizer and cleanser. We did do a study where 100% of participants saw improvement. And then we have our Asea Via Nutrition. Again, not to get into a lot of details, we've got a wonderful whole food, broad spectrum nutritional supplement and source, a holistic gut health product, 3-in-1 gut health product with Biome, and then an exciting anti-aging vitality product in LifeMax. What I do want to do is draw your attention to maybe how nutrition and redox come together. And if you imagine your body's constantly in a state of breaking down and repair, and we know these molecules are critical for that repair and rejuvenation process, but you still need the building block. So if my house is in disrepair, I need the roofing materials and the windows and the floor materials and the door materials. I need the building materials. That's the nutrition for the body, okay? But what if no labor shows up to get the work done? Asea Redox, you could think of it as the work, like the contractor coming, the foreman, to give directions and instructions, the signaling and communication. And guys, this is the piece that is missing from millions of people that have challenges going on in their life or are, again, trying to slow down the aging process. And the reason why Asea is such an exciting product offering is that we are the only company in the world to be able to offer you both the materials through our quality nutrition as well as the labor through Asea Redox. And this is why we are the premier cellular health company in the world. Okay, look, we're getting to my favorite part of tonight's call, and that is to hear lives change. So I'm just going to stop the share and ask our 3 special guests to come online with me here. We've got Cecily. We're going to start with Cecily, actually, in Virginia. Hey, Cecily, let's do a quick mic check. Can you hear me okay?
I can indeed. Can you hear me?
You are loud and clear. So tell us a little bit about your Asea experience. What happened to you with this technology?
I laugh that you say that you stumbled upon Asea because I quite literally fell into Asea. I had a horrible fall as a result of some blood sugar issues because I forget to eat sometimes. And I hit a wall with my face, and then my face and whole body hit a concrete floor. And ensuingly ended up in the emergency room, of course, at midnight, because isn't that when everyone goes? And had a concussion, some other brain trauma issues with that, a broken nose, and more importantly, a horrible, jagged and deep gash in my face. Horrible. As a result of that emergency room visit, many hours later, the surgeon comes out to me and says, I apologize. I did the best I could, but it's very deep and it's very jagged, and you will have to have plastic surgery. Sorry, good luck.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. So I go home and I, try to gain my composure, and then I didn't see anybody for a couple days because covered up, whatever. Right before I go back to work the next day, I take some pictures to show my friends and family on Facebook. I'm alive. I'm okay. I look like Frankenstein's bride, but it's okay. I go to work, and my friend Carolyn Hoffman, who is a fabulous Asea friend, comes and shows up at my workplace with a bottle of Renew 28. And mind you, I've been friends with her for years, but I hadn't seen her face to face in a few years. She shows up unannounced and hands me this bottle of Renew 28 and says, you have to use this. So I say, okay. She gives me great instructions. I go home and work with it for a few days. And of course, Carolyn calls me back and says, hey, how's it going? And I say to her, holy moly, what is this stuff? What is happening? The discomfort was so much better. Mm-hmm. The swelling, so much better. Just so many improvements in such a short amount of time. Mm-hmm. I was already starting to get some really horrible scarring on the inside of my mouth, which ultimately ended up to be about 1/4 of an inch of some really bad scarring. She suggested that I try the liquid as well. So after months on that or whatever, I started noticing huge improvements. And in fact, it became a little game for myself. I would put the Renew 28 on it at night and cover it up. And in the morning, I would reveal a whole new face. It was amazing. Fast forward many, many, many months later, I realized in putting it on, because when you start using the Renew 28, you start just putting it everywhere. I noticed that chickenpox scars that I've had for 30 years were leaving, gone. In fact, they're gone now. So overall, the most important thing really was because of this fabulous liquid and because of this fabulous gel, I no longer need the plastic surgery that I was told I was going to need.
I love it.
Nothing. You can't even tell it ever happened.
Yeah.
So
fantastic.
Yeah.
Leslie, thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm sorry you discovered our technology in such an uncomfortable way, but I'm just glad it showed up at the right time. So thank you for sharing your story. Cellular health from the inside out, outside in. Love it. Thank you.
Quite literally.
Yeah. So we're going to go to the land down under. We're going to go to Leonie. Leonie's in New South Wales, which is, I think, about 3-4 hours, a little bit south of Sydney. I think that's where I got my geography lesson a little earlier. So Leonie, let me unmute you here. There's you unmuted. And so you've had quite an incredible experience with our technology. Tell us your experience.
Yeah, hi, Alan. First of all, I'd like to thank you for asking me to come on board here and share my testimonial. It's very out of my comfort zone because I am quite a private person, but you know, it's had such great benefits for me. I would like to think that sharing it could help someone else with their health issues. I've had health issues since the age of 6, from injury off my horse to my brain. Had seizures for quite a few years, probably right up until my 30s. I was on medication for that and I was okay. I didn't have seizures very often, they were controlled. But I think I took drugs for that for 47 years, which is a very long time. I've also had many other health issues over my life up until the age of 50. I had an issue with my heart where it would race crazy, and I had to go to the doctor, to the hospital, and then get reverted. That went on for a few years in my 20s. I then developed a condition in my digestive tract, which affected with ulceration and bleeding and was very painful. And probably the last thing, so I could go into depth about all of those things, they weren't a constant in my life, but they would recur at different times. So all of those issues had the ability to come back at some point in time. Also, very bad joints, aching in my joints. The last one was I had a great big cerebral fluid build-up in my brain, which affected me like a stroke. So after that, I spent a lot of time sleeping. I think initially I spent about 3 months at my parents' place, and they looked after me, got me out of bed, you know, sat me in a chair, gave me a feed, put me back. I slept a lot because of the brain injury. I think that was the only way to heal. And down the track, you know, I look at myself probably 3 years later, and I thought I was, you know, I thought I was fine. I thought I'd healed. But I look at a photo, actually, the first photo I shared with a lot of people, and I was very vacant in the brain there. I could see that there wasn't, you know, I wasn't very coherent. So I find now that, you know, I couldn't string a sentence together too well. My memory was very bad. I would fall to the right side, so my balance wasn't great all of the time. And again, I thought I was healing okay, but I really wasn't. I think I was introduced to Asea by a girlfriend, Kathy High, and she owned a salon down the coast. And I just initially went in for a facial to pep me up. And then I found, I started reading about the product because I started doing a couple of days work for her. And I thought, wow, this stuff looks all right. I might just start to drink the liquid as well. And I really didn't know what it would do at the time. I just thought, you know, I'm going to repair my cells outside. I might try and work on the inside too. And I had no idea what would happen. And I just decided I would take this maintenance dose morning and night, because I'd taken medication for 47 years. It wasn't a hard thing for me to do. And I was quite religious. I took it morning and night, put the gel on, and I did that for 12 months. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to see. I decided a few months into it, I'm going to see if I can wean myself off my medication for my seizures. And so I did. And I slowly chipped away, took a tablet off. I was on 1,500 milligrams a day, which was quite a high dose. I started cutting the tablets in half. And then at Christmas time in 2016, I decided I wouldn't have any more. And that was a very scary thing for me to do. And I had researched the product, so I decided to do what I could. I drank the Asea, rubbed the Renew on my face. I also rubbed it in my hair afterwards and my skull. I sprayed it up my nose and in my ears and in my eyes. I was like, I've got to work on this brain. And you know what? I still haven't had a seizure today. I haven't had medication. There was times probably a few months into not having medication that I thought I had that aura that I might have one. So I upped the dose, you know, just to a little bit extra. And today I'm still like, this is it. I haven't had a seizure. I've had no recurrence of any of those health issues I've had over my lifetime, which have the ability to come back, but they haven't. And I am 56. I don't take any medication. I take Asea in the morning and the Renew. That's it. So for me, it's an incredible healing. I've never been this well in my entire life. So. And
you're feeling better than you have in years?
Oh, look, yeah, I think, you know, my brain function is better than ever. I can chat the arm off the table, you know. I'm very healthy and very grateful, because I didn't realise how unwell I was over my lifetime. You know, I thought they were little hindrances, but, you know, looking back now, I'm healthier today than I've ever been my entire life. And I'll never not take this product, because you don't realise how well it is to feel healthy. So I'm very grateful.
Very good. Very cool. Well, listen, thank you so much for sharing, Leonie. I appreciate it. It's Friday morning there in Australia, so I appreciate you jumping on our call and sharing your story. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you, Alan, for asking me.
Okay, last story tonight, last testimonial, Patty from Delaware. There's Patty. Hey, Patty. So,
hey, how are you?
We've been hearing some pretty incredible stories here tonight. What's your story? Tell us what's been going on with you.
Well, my first interest was actually because of my husband, but at the same time, I had been having shoulder issues. Went on for about 18 months, and I didn't have good range of motion. I had a lot of discomfort. And at night, like if I tried to put my arm under the pillow, it would literally just wake me up. So, you know, that was kind of an initial concern. So that did take a while, but I had tried a lot of different alternatives, you know, massage and craniosacral and chiropractic, and I just couldn't get it fixed. So taking the Asea, it took about 5 months, but the discomfort was gone, and that's been, almost 2 years now that it never came back. So that was pretty exciting. The other thing for me, being in my 60s, the anti-aging aspect was really important to me. And, I know it says about slowing down the aging, but as you mentioned, I feel like it's age reversal for me.
I got a picture here of you, Patty, that you sent me. And
Yeah.
it's a little blurred, but you got a 2 years before, 2 years, and then 2 years after, I guess it is, using redox signaling molecules.
Right. And, when people look at that, they go, well, you lost a lot of weight. I didn't lose any weight. Matter of fact, I was probably thinner there than I am now. But it just detoxes your body. It detoxes your face. And I didn't have any work done in that 2-year period on my face at all. So needless to say, I'm pretty excited. And also my energy level, I feel like I'm 20 years younger. I feel like I'm in my 40s. And when I say I'm in my 60s, I'm in that second half of the decade. So needless to say, I'm thrilled to have Asea in my life. And the Renew, I use that all the time also. But with my husband, he had been dealing with significant health challenge. He had lost a good bit of his muscle mass in his shoulders and legs and everything. He had literally no energy, just about enough to get to work and back, and then that was it. And he had significant discomfort in his hips and his shoulders, which really stopped us from doing anything social. And this had been going on for well over a year. But he wouldn't go to the doctors, as men do. They put that off. But at a particular point, the discomfort was just so great that he agreed to go to a health professional. So he did. So when they did all the testing and the blood work, it became very clear that he had significant sugar issues. His sugar level came in at 250. And for those that aren't familiar, it's optimal to be like at 100 or lower. So his was significant to the point where they said that it was literally just eating his body. So we worked with them for about 6 months, and we did get a sugar level down, but we drastically changed his diet, but we could not get rid of the discomfort, nor did he get his energy back, and he just wasn't building his body back up. So we stayed on that course for about 6 months. But that's when I actually got involved with the Asea. So when he started, it actually took only about maybe 5-6 days into it. And he said, I'm actually feeling a little energy. He said, there's definitely something going on. So I thought, well, that's fabulous. So we were both very committed to this. So I guess it was somewhere between the 2 and 3 month point where the discomfort was gone. And we were just so thrilled with that, because like I said, our life was kind of on hold. So at this point, clearly Asea was the missing link there, because we had tried other things, but it's over 2 years now. His sugar hovers around that 100 point, and he never took medication for that condition. So for both of us, again, we're both in our 60s. We take no medication. We do use the Asea, we use the Renew, and we do use all of the VIA products. We actually wouldn't be without them. Yeah. They've made such an impact on our life. So we too will never stop taking them.
Very cool. I love it. Hey, Patty, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your story, and also what happened to your husband. I really appreciate that. We're going to move into the next part, but before we do, I just want to stress, we heard 3 great stories here, Patty, Leonie, and Cecily. I really appreciate you giving up some time to share your story, and I'm sure it connected with some people online here. But I do want to stress, of course, Asea is not a treatment or cure for any disease or medical condition. We are simply giving our body back a very, very important, very powerful, critical mechanism, resource that can help the body signal and communicate its messages. Maybe signal and communicate its cries for help. Okay, and as Patty mentioned, it is the missing link for so many people that have tried so many different things. And so this is an astonishing technology, guys, absolutely astonishing. Now, as I said earlier, breakthroughs create opportunity. And the bigger the breakthrough, the bigger the opportunity. So just for about the next 7 minutes or so, I'll try and keep it under 10 minutes. I'm going to introduce you a little bit to who Asea is, the company behind this, and the opportunity that they have created for people like me, for people like Patty, Leonie, and Cecily. So look, think about this. I'm coming to you with a very high impact technology that gets results. No other company in the world has it, and virtually nobody knows about it. Does that sound like opportunity to you? It did to me 10 years ago, and it sounds even more like opportunity 10 years later. So let me share with you a little bit about the company, who Asea is, and how it got started. It started with these two remarkable businessmen, Vertus Norton and his son Tyler Norton. And they had bought this technology from a struggling biotech company. That company couldn't figure out how to stabilize the molecules. And they brought in the team of scientists that did it. They now had an option. They could sell it to the pharmaceutical industry. But they also started a handful of people using the product. They knew it was totally safe, it was non-toxic, and so they started 40 people drinking the molecules. Those 40 people gradually grew just by word of mouth to 135 people, and many of them were having absolutely transformational experiences with their health. At the same time, a pharmaceutical company flies in, puts a multi-million-dollar bid on the table, but with one condition, and that is every single person using the molecules has to stop. And so you've got a choice point here. Do we take the money? Do we take the multi-million-dollar payout and take everybody off this product and all of their benefits will disappear? Or do we allow the people to continue to have these extraordinary health benefits, but we've got to say no to the payout? Now, before you answer it, we're in 2008, the worst recession since the Great Depression. We've got a product made from salt water in Salt Lake City with molecules nobody's really ever heard of, and Vertus Norton is 69 years of age. What would you do? I think it's a safe bet to say most people would have taken the money and run. Guys, I want you to really understand what I'm about to say here, because if you decide to partner with Asea, this is the company you're partnering with. A company of principles, a company that's based on purpose, a company that's based on putting people first, a deep appreciation for people, even ahead of short-term economic gain. And when I saw this and I realized they said no to the payout, so they could say yes to a handful of people, I said, I've been looking for a company like that for over 20 years. And it was life-changing for me, and it will be for you too. So here's the next question. Here we are with this technology. We know it changes people's lives. How are we going to tell the world it exists? And sometimes people say to me, Alan, if your product's so good, why does my doctor not know about it or sell it? Well, your doctor typically is trained in pharmaceutical meds. They're not generally trained in helping the body heal itself. And that's not a judgment, that's just a fact, okay? And so this is not a drug, it's not a treatment, it's not a cure, it's a holistic product, okay? It helps the body take care of itself. And so it's not really in their category, it's not in their field of expertise. Then you're going to say, well, if your product's so good, why is it not in the health food store? Well, let's walk through that, for example. You go into your health food store and you see this beautiful blue bottle on the shelf, and it would catch your eye, and you're going to pick it off the shelf, and you're going to turn it around, and you're going to look at the ingredients, and you're going to see salt and water. And then maybe you'll explore a little bit more, and you'll see something about redox certified and redox signaling molecules, and you've no idea what this is about. None. You see, you're going to end up walking past the most significant health breakthrough in our lifetime. And we realized that this product required a little education. What you went through tonight, a little personal experience, the 3 stories that you heard tonight. And the only way to do that was through word of mouth marketing or network marketing. And we're very grateful for that, because that has opened up tremendous opportunity for people like me and for people like Patty and perhaps like yourself. So let me bring up a snapshot of just who we are and what we've achieved. We've been profitable since our first year in business. We own our own manufacturing facility. We've got legal entities all over the world that allow us to do business correctly around the world. We ship to over 30 countries, distribution centers. We offer support in multiple languages. We've achieved over $600 million in sales, paying out over $250 million in thank you checks to our associates. 23 members have earned over $1 million. We've got almost 3 now at 10 million. And guys, we have grown every single year. Tens of thousands of lives changed with this technology. Pretty cool. Now, I want to ask you a personal question. How much income would it take for you? How much income would it take for you to make a significant difference in your life? You know, for a lot of people, it's just a little bit of extra supplemental income. An extra $500 a month can make all the difference. You know the old saying, too much month left at the end of the money. A little bit of extra income. What about fire your boss income? I realized at 23, I was psychologically unemployable. Maybe you want to be your own boss. What about plan B income? Hey, plan A is maybe going well, but by the time you need a plan B, it's too late. You want to be putting your plan B in place today. And this kind of business can weave around even the busiest of schedules, building up a fantastic plan B income. What about lifestyle income? You can see from our 2019 income disclosure statement that our monthly incomes are very, very significant in this company. You may also be wondering, can I do this? I would like to say you're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. We've got presentation sites that can share information. You don't have to be the expert. You don't have to give the presentation. Can you point somebody to a video and say, hey, take a few minutes and watch that? We've got training programs to help you achieve the success that you deserve. We've got daily support calls to help you achieve the success. So in summary, guys, we've got $1 billion technology in 3 massive markets: health and wellness, athletic and sport, and anti-aging skincare. Nobody else in the world has this technology. We're not singing the same old song. I would hate to be marketing a CBD product right now. Everybody and their brother has one. Every health food store has them. Every direct sales company has them. To me, it's a nightmare. It's trying to get your voice heard in a really crowded field. Same thing in the antioxidant and vitamin world. Guys, we have a solo voice that's rising above the crowded choir. We have a story that's never been told before, and nobody else can tell it. Nobody. And the exciting thing is, virtually still today, virtually nobody even knows this technology exists. So look, getting started in our business is very, very simple. You can enroll as an associate. It's only $40 to become an associate. You get a position in the compensation structure. You get your own website. You get your own virtual office that tracks your business all over the world. We encourage you to do a one-time enrollment pack. We offer discounted packs and some free products and little sample tubes of our amazing gel. And so you can get back to the person that invited you and learn a little bit more about that. And then we encourage you to get on a user-friendly auto ship. Start like you actually mean to succeed. And we have a fabulous loyalty rewards program, and you can start to clock up reward points that you can cash in for free product. And again, it's very user-friendly. You can cancel your auto ship at any time. So guys, look, that is the end of the presentation. I always like ending with our founder, Vertus Norton. He said, we're all at the start of something big with great purpose. And right now is the moment that we begin influencing the future. I can tell you that 10 years ago when I stumbled on this incredible technology, I really could not have imagined how it would have changed the entire direction of my life. Not just the health and wellness of loved ones, my father, my wife, my daughter, but financially how it totally changed our lives to the point where we have total time, money, freedom in life. And this is where we can make a profound difference in people's lives. We can make a living while making a difference, where the size of your commission check is a direct reflection of lives changed. So look, if you've loved what you've seen here tonight, I want to be the first to welcome you on board and welcome you to Asea and this incredible Asea adventure. So thank you for your time and attention tonight, and I wish you a very good evening. Bye-bye.